Let's talk now to Dylan Rossiter. He was an eyewitness who saw things unfold in Paris this evening. Dylan, just talk to me about what happened.
Yeah, so I was up in Arc de Triomphe when the situation happened. I was actually on my way down, and it wasn't until we exited the stairwell that I noticed that something was up when we saw just a massive police presence. I also noticed that the guard, that is not the guard, more of an usher, really, that is stationed right by the exit, was talking on the radio. So we saw the massive police presence. I saw a few of them putting on bulletproof vests or whatever, and we then got out of the area by Arc de Triomphe because there's no actual crosswalks there, so you have to go underground under the tunnel. And that's when we noticed 2 or 3 French police officers with their hands on their weapons. We immediately got out. The tunnel exited us right by Champs-Élysées. I apologize that I can't pronounce it, but we then went into a store and we stayed there for a few minutes. There was definitely some panic. Nobody really knew what was going on, at which point we exited and made a beeline in the other direction and got on a subway and got back to our hotel here.
And Dylan, presumably you're a tourist, is that right, visiting Paris? And I'm just wondering if that was something you considered at all, that these, obviously, incidents, have happened before.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely a tourist. I'm here on a high school trip, and we just came from Nice, who obviously had that incident over the summer on Bastille Day. So it's always been in the back of our minds, this trip. But it's one of those things you never think is going to actually happen to you. And tonight was definitely a little nerve-wracking.
Dylan, were your students with you as this was unfolding?
Yes, yeah. Me and my friends, we were all together, but we're all safe now.
You're all safe. What, Dylan, was the atmosphere around you like? Did you at any point hear any shots? How quick were the security services to kind of take over the area, cordon it off, that sort of thing?
I did not hear any shots. There was definitely a heavy police presence, but by the time that we left, there was no real quarantine. They were just beginning to close down the street.
I'm guessing also, Dylan, there's probably part of you right now that feels like huge sympathy for the people of France, that this is something that is happening with unfortunate regularity. Just talk to me about what was the atmosphere like for you guys, obviously, after this happened and after you witnessed yet another one of these incidents.
Yeah, we're all really shooken up. I mean, it's not something you ever want. You don't wish on anyone. And it's, for the French people to be going through this once again, it's truly tragic. I mean, being an American, of course, we've got 9/11, but, this is just one after another, and it's a lot. It really is.
We've heard President Trump, Dylan, say this evening, he obviously sent his condolences to France and again reiterated, his view that attacks like this, and of course we don't know what caused it, but again, this sort of played into his narrative, I guess, that, terrorists are everywhere and we really have to do something about it. And I guess that might be a feeling that you guys are having to carry around with you, despite the fact you're simply tourists.
Definitely it is. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at anything really if this is for sure terrorism or what. But I think regardless, people, let's not be quick to jump on anything here. A lot of things can happen, and whether or not it fits into President Trump's narrative or not, it's the world that we live in now, and we have to deal with it.
Fantastic. Dylan Rossiter joining us there. Dylan was very close to the Arc de Triomphe when the incident happened tonight. Dylan, thank you very much for your time.